If you've been on the internet for any amount of time, I'm sure you've come across romhacks. Think Mario Kaizo, Pokemon games that make the spiking difficulty almost godlike when compared to their vanilla counterpart. And today's beast, Fire Emblem Awakening, Project Thabes. This ROM/overhaul mod takes the game base of Awakening and amps up the bosses, the way skills are allocated, balances the game, allows for a multitude of possible relationships, and tweaks the final boss. However, keep in mind this is still FE Awakening and still going to abuse the mechanics to devs overlook. So tuck that in the back of your mind as we move forward.
Code and I wanted to challenge ourselves by beating this ROM only using Donnel. Now, when it comes to the rules for this challenge, this is what Code and I came up with. Only Donnel can be used in battle. In battles where Chrom is required, take away his weapon so he can't deal damage. He's basically a walking medkit. I'm allowed to use DLC maps, just not EXP map or the money map. In maps where other characters are required, I can use them, but only for that map. After that, they're benched. Anytime I die, I restart. I initially restarted the whole game, but that would have made all of this more hellish. So I decided early to forego that rule, so after each chapter, I save and move on.
Hey, also, quick side tangent. We're also going to leave the link to the mod. Give lots of love to the devs. Thank you. Now back to the video. Now, with context, let me introduce you to our best boy of this game, Donnel, the destroyer of worlds. Most of the time, the village class is squishy and difficult to level up, but Thabes remedies this. Instead of starting with a bronze lance, Donnel is able to use an iron lance and has a bit of bulk out the gate. So, leveling him up once to obtain him was a bit easier than in the vanilla game. Once Donnel joined the squad, it came time for the training arc. Well, sort of. The next map was 2 Falchion, and instead of 4 fighters, 2 mages, and 2 knights, Lucina is partied up with other child units, surprisingly, specifically Selena, Owain, Jerome, Inigo, and Cynthia. This map took me 6 attempts, and was sort of an intro as to how the creators of this ROM beefed up the enemy units. Selena kept healing after Donnel would attack her or any of the other units. The unit to give me the most trouble aside from Selena was Jerome and Lucina. Jerome only was an issue when I tried to take on him and Cynthia at the same time, but after realizing the best strategy was to take out Jerome, then Cynthia, while avoiding Lucina's range of waifu-ness. Lucina wasn't too hard even if she killed me twice, but when I took advantage of the staircase tile, for those unfamiliar with the mechanics of this game, if you're standing on 4 tiles or a staircase tile, there's a slight chance in the dodge and hit rate. I was able to put the traumatized child in her place, on the sidelines like everyone else. By this time, we've reached chapter 5. This means that the DLC maps are available, but we'll tackle those later since Donnel needs a bit more bulk to take it on single-handedly. And since Donnel is essentially a first-year college student living on his own on a budget, we're stuck with what we have for now, in terms of weapons. We have a skill level high enough to at least use a killing lance, so some extra crit chance is more than welcome. Chapter 5 has a bunch of enemies, and as part of this map, Donnel is tasked with saving Mirabelle and Ricken. I do my best to at least use them as little as possible and even try to protect them at one point, but soon realize that's pointless because they each died one hit. Also, did I mention I'm playing this on hard mode? Anyway, this map, like the last one, takes a few attempts, and I started off trying to go up towards the fort at the mouth of the enemy units, before realizing the better and more strategic option is to go left. Take out the enemies there, hold up in the fort, and let the enemies come to me. By doing so, I also block one of their respawning points for the enemy units, so yeah, big brain. Once my strategy paid off, I finished this map at level 14. If you're wondering why I haven't used any Master Seal yet, don't worry, I'll tell you. See, this game has a unique oversight that makes this challenge even remotely possible in the first place. In most Fire Emblem games, once you hit level 10, you use a Master Seal to upgrade your characters to the next class, so they have more bulk and gain access to new abilities and weapon choices. And if you don't like a particular class, you can use a second seal, changing the class to something new and starting at level 1. Usually, you're only able to use a second seal and master seal to toggle between certain classes, so you only have 2 or 3 paths the character in question can become. In Awakening, however, there's a bit of an oversight in the seals mechanic, specifically second seals. Let's use Donnel. He starts off as a villager. Upon reaching level 20, I use the second seal to reclass him to a mercenary, and upon reaching level 20 in that class, I then use a master seal to upgrade him to the hero class, and once that class is maxed out, use the second seal again to change him into something else like a bow knight, so that more skills can be obtained and his stats so busted that the game just refuses to increase them further. Keep in mind, this is only the beginning of what I like to call...
Now that we're no longer squishy and are closer to the level cap of Donald's current class, it's time we push forward with the training necessary in order to become worthy of the title I have bestowed upon my boy, the Lone Defender. After Lucina warns our walking medkit Crom about the assassination attempt of his sister Em, and we meet a sweet thief Gaius and a beast folk Penny? I really don't know how to say her name. Who doesn't stick around long because, well... yeah. All the enemies are in one spot, and yeah, we still have Gaius to open chests for this map. At least, so... we're winning. Oh, and also we hit level 20, so class change can finally happen, but we're still broke. And the shop that sells Master Seals isn't open until Chapter 10. Moving on! In trying to get more money, I decided to do Anna's Paralog, but, failed.
Ooh, you suck!
Okay, can we skip to the part where I'm not tripping over myself, please? Wait, no, not that! Okay! So, Aversa and his thought of a lackey keep interrupting our quest to get the gems for the title card item, so we have to fight them a few more times and make quick work of the next few chapters. The hero class is super bulky and really fast, so I'm able to avoid getting hit, and even if the enemy has a hit rate, they do 0 damage. So... we're one step closer to becoming God. On our journey to godhood, we pick up 2 more party members that will become witnesses to our humble beginnings. The first being Naui, the half-dragon lolly of this run, and Gregor, himbo with a heart of gold. But like most of the other recruits, they aren't long for this world and retire. By the end of this though, we use the second seal to promote Donald to the mercenary class and are granted the skill Arm Shift. So with that out of the way, and the downfall of M, no pun intended, Donald must break through the army that will stop at nothing to kill us, so unfortunately, we must take out this absolute unit on the opposing side. He's only doing as he's told, and even gives his men the chance to leave, but like most other obstacles in our path, we take him out. His sacrifice will not be in vain. In the next few chapters, we come across Gangriel, Emperor of Daddy Issues as I like to call him, whining about how Crom's dad made their lives shit, but Donald doesn't care about any of this, since he is now a bow knight and can't take damage from literally anything, and is gaining so many skills that would make a college intern recruiter ask if he's okay. He doesn't need sleep when he's so close to godhood now. Remember how I mentioned that I was allowed to utilize DLC maps? Well, here's where the final step in becoming God is found.
Throughout the course of this playthrough, the DLC maps were fun and a nice challenge and a way to get experience, or when I ran out of low funds. Yes, that happened multiple times. I was reminded of one of the most broken scrolls in all of Fire Emblem, and by far one of my favorite classes from this game. The Dread Fighter. In the Paralog Lost Bloodlines 2, after defeating Alm and Celica, you are awarded with the Dread Skull and the key to Donnel's ascension. Honestly, the battle wasn't too difficult at this point since I had switched to the hero class, and anything that had a hit rate either did 0 damage or the hit rate was so low that Donnel ended up dodging anyway. Oh, and I also ended up doing Bloodlines 3, which granted me the Paragon skill, which doubles the overall XP given by taking out enemies. Side note, I didn't even know that this existed, and was so happy since it cut down the grinding needed in half. At this point, I was still in chapter 17, So I still had a bit to go story-wise, and I had been recording for about 2 months at this point, and was excited to see if I would be able to beat this game with only my best boy Donnel. But while I was leveling up Donnel, Nyx and I realized we didn't have the soul skill. Soul in the vanilla game is acquired through level 5 of the hero class. Little did we know this final battle was going to be one that would rival that of Obito vs Kakashi, Rengoku vs Akaza, Eren versus his squad. This battle nearly brought me to tears.
As we approached the dark and looming dragon that was Grima, I thought, this shouldn't be too difficult. I've steamrolled pretty much every challenge so far, so this one shouldn't be that different, right? Oh, how naive my preconceived notions. Remember at the start of this video when I mentioned that this mod tweaks the final boss? Yeah, I didn't realize the gargantuan overhaul that Thabes gave this final boss. You see, in the vanilla version of the game, Grima has the skills Anathema, Ignis, Pavis, and Dragonskin. In the ROM, however, Grima's skills consist of switching Anathema and Ignis for Aegis, which reduces damage from tomes, dragonstones, and bows. Pavis and Dragonskin stay, with the Dragonskin skill negating counter and insta-kill moves. And Pavis reduces damage from basically every weapon type in the game. Oh, and before I forget to mention, his HP and luck stat have been buffed and are higher than mine. And that isn't even the worst part. At the end of every turn, this motherfucker heals 20% of his health. Due to grinding all the different classes, we had a bunch of skills to utilize, and the first few attempts were us trying to figure out which skills would be best suited for this legendary battle ahead. Code and I ended up settling on the skills Soul, Arms Thrift, Aggressor, Luna, and Wrath. When we finally had the skills in place, next was the weapons, and this is one of the main reasons that the Dreadfighter is my favorite of the classes. The Dreadfighter has access to swords, tomes, and axes, so this class has bulk, speed, and range. The holy trinity for a one-man army like my boy here. With all that setup and technical talk out of the way, it's time for the answer to our initial question. Can we beat Awakening with only Donnel? This final boss fight took over a month on its own because of Grima's hack-level strategies. I honestly lost count of the amount of attempts. Just know, I lost part of my soul at the end of all this. With only a small piece of hope left, I tried once more to defeat Grima once and for all. I'm just going to let the footage speak for itself. Alright, I'm just going for it. Cooper! Please. Dodge. Crit! Yo! Oh my god!
So close, so close.
No, 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 no! This is gonna be it! This is gonna be it! This is gonna be it! Donald, you have to dodge! Please! Okay, I will. I have to heal. I have to heal. I have to heal.
Yeah. Wait, we're like.
I have to heal, and I'll use Erica's blade. Okay, okay, no, I've got this. I've got this. I got this. I'm winning. I'm gonna win. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, I'll take the damage. I'll take the damage. All right.
Yeah,
what's half of 11? 6?
Yeah, like 5 or 6.
But it's not a guaranteed hit.
Yeah.
Cooper, leave her alone. 61. Hold on. 61, but that does 21 damage. Okay, we're sticking with the killing edge. This is it. Luna, crit. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Oh no! This is it. This is it. Yes! I did it!
And just like that.
You can very well, in fact, beat a modded Fire Emblem Awakening run with only Donald. As long as you push forward, never give up, and break the game over your kneecap, you too can have a roided up demon farm boy that'll lay waste to any and all obstacles in your path.